All right, y'all. Welcome to an episode of Brooklyn's Balance. This is the first quarter edition. I am your host, Meekz. My co-host.
It's your boy, BL Billy. I'm in the building. Back again.
We have a guest. Introduce yourself.
What's the word? Your man, Slop Shot, yeah?
Right. Y'all call him Slops. We call him Slow Peas. We named him that, a couple years ago. Because we was like, Slops was a little crazy.
Yeah, it's Slow Peas. I think you text me and it's separated.
Yes,
yeah,
I write it's Slow Peas. Even in my phone, it says Slow Peas. I don't even do that.
You changed his name.
That's it. That's why on TikTok, they call me Mickey Lake. And that was in the episode with me, you, and Buck.
Yeah, shout out to my man Buck. Yes,
yeah, shout out Buck, man.
Yeah. We supposed to be
for the trenches.
You
know that.
Buck's supposed to be coming through next week. So I wanted to shoot something else, but we all just going to do it at the same time. So with first quarter, the first time we came up with this idea and I partnered with Blaze, it was in 2024. That was when we shot it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And that was it. It's 2026. The problem that I'm running into, and I find that all of my peers and all of us are running into, is music kind of dead.
Yeah.
Artistry, gone. We couldn't even get it together last year to figure out who to highlight. First quarter is to highlight those artists that have been consistent for that year. And when we say consistent, we're talking consistently online, consistently doing music, consistently out there doing shows, or even if you're not out there looking like you're out there.
Yeah.
And none of that existed last year to me. I felt like the only thing that existed was us, the content creators. And a lot of us have switched. We have adjusted our lanes. And I'm sorry, let me hit this rant and then this is how it's going to open up the conversation.
Yeah.
A lot of us have to adjust our lanes. Being in media, there's so many different forms of media. Whenever you figure it out, you'll figure it out. But we just lost the morning show with Ebro, Laura Stiles, and Rosenberg. And my thoughts sometimes continue to be, what is Summer Jam going to look like? Yeah, you got Flex, but then Summer Jam also ain't been it for 5 years. I don't blame the directors. That's how I feel.
Though.
It's been about 10.
Well, I was being lenient.
Yeah, about 10 summers.
I feel it's not the artists. Yeah. I feel like it's not the directors of the show. It's the artists. The artists, the highlight of it is the artists think they bigger than the program. They think that they are bigger than the program. They don't want to pay to get on platforms. We get it. There was a lot of platforms before back in the day that we also lost. BET, which I call Tyler Perry land. We don't got a 106 in Park. We don't got to See This World. We don't got a Tigger in the basement. It's the closest thing you got is on the radar. And then that still ain't even close enough because there's a fee. Bow Wow came back to 106 in Park to even save it when it was falling apart. We don't have nothing like that. So artists, everybody who chooses to hit up Blaze, because y'all know better than to hit up me from since the Good Morning Bars tournament, thinking that Blaze is going to help highlight it. First of all, it's a collaborative effort. And if you don't hit none of those things that I was saying, what are we doing? So that's why for first quarter, the next couple of episodes you're going to hear us vent. We're also going to give you advice as artists for moving around, how to complete your rollout, how we can collaborate, because artists, you need us and we need y'all. It's not one person don't need this, one person don't need that, but just looking at that, like, y'all not doing nothing. It became all monetary about the money. So how do y'all feel about that with what I said? Because I had to put that out there so that y'all know what first quarter is this quarter.
I mean, last year, all our artists really turned into content creators on the low. Like, we seen mad rappers going to buy mad setups and stuff like that. You feel me? They doing more content that way than putting out the music, paying for platforms, getting out there, really touching the people and getting to the public. So
didn't you do that? Because you stopped rapping. When I met you, you was rapping.
It kind of got saturated for me.
Okay.
And watered down all the bubblegum rap. And
first of all, bubblegum rap is popping. Shout out to Zeddy. Sorry. That shouldn't have went together like that, but he's killing it. I'll take the bubblegum rap.
I'm good on the bubblegum rap.
What about you, Slow Peas?
As far as which part?
I feel like all of it with the artistry, from what I've seen you doing before to what you're doing now. Because to me, it's really the elevation. But at what point did you realize I got to evolve? It's time now.
All right then. So as far as like the artists and the content thing, I think we media started pushing like you know, might have pushed artists away from media. So, and they started seeing that their favorite artist was doing content. Everything became content driven. And when the content started driving numbers, the media started saying, well, you guys should do content. That was the advice, to do content. Then the content just got so much easier. It's easier than what you said, like putting together a rollout, touching platforms, you know, going to holler at media. I can stream from my house. You know, understand what I'm saying? I could do a TikTok, get a friend, do a couple dances. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So it's easier. So I get why artists do it. And then sometimes people just, you know, why so many people was rapping, you know, like when I was outside with Young Rich, so many people was rapping because to get their name out there, you know, some people, more people just wanted to be famous, and you know, and not thinking about the talent or the skill. You know, some of them developed it eventually, but I think it may take less skill just jumping into streaming. You understand what I'm saying? That's why rapping became more popular than singing. Because if you just want to start rapping, it may seem easier than singing. Where now streaming, you don't even have to think to put together a good song. You understand what I'm saying? You could do some derelict shit and you might go viral. You understand what I'm saying? So that becomes easier. Not to say there's no artistry in streaming. I think there's definitely artistry in streaming. I don't want to fuck with streaming because there's no edit button. You understand what I'm saying? There's some parts of my life I don't want out there. I don't want to risk being out there by mistake. That's why I'm good. Like here, you know, I could be like, ooh, yeah, nah, I'm okay with that part. You know, so shout out to everybody that does stream. But as far as me, like the elevation, it's like I just I like everything I do. I don't think I think it wasn't necessarily a transition. I was doing what I'm doing now with like I'm assuming you're talking about like with Stuy Nights and stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay, so like with Stuy Nights, I feel like what I was doing with Stuy Nights, I was already doing before with Young Rich and Famous when I was doing that. That's kind of what led me to media. So shout out to Tiff. It was Tiff's idea to do something like where we was hanging out. We used to call it like Stuy Nights, like just it was like after parties from our events. Yeah, we'd chill out on the studio and stuff like that, or we'd have events on the block and stuff, and it was just like reminiscence of that. So it was just me trying to bring back that vibe. I wouldn't necessarily say it was some things that turned me off from the media perspective or anything like that. It wasn't nothing that turned me off from that. But I do absolutely agree with you when you talk about like the drought as far as like artists and stuff like that. But everything is like we pushed everybody into like making content. You understand what I'm saying? And then they just but we was thinking like you got to make content with the music. Yes. And then it just said fuck it, the music that's difficult. You know, it's difficult to do both. So why not just, you know, just content thing is easier.
Probably wasn't your lane to begin with.
It wasn't.
A lot of people doing it to get money. It was the get rich. It was a get rich scheme. You know,
or to get your name up. You know, to
feel famous. You understand?
Like nobody want to be unique no more. Like be themselves. Like
I'm like everybody.
So I wouldn't say no more. Like I said, even like from the Young Rich days, like a lot of niggas started rapping because you know, they see their man on MySpace, you know, rapping, and they wanted to rap too, or you know, that was just the thing. Like, oh, you a scammer, so you fit the rap aesthetic. So why not rap? You understand what I'm saying? So,
I feel like it's along the lines of being a rapper and then being a basketball player. It's like, let me get this money so I could get this for my family, whatever that deal is. It was really a money thing for me. I think as far as when it does come to the artistry with the artists, which is why I've said numerous times, I don't want to talk to artists. Y'all missing so much development. And the part that I feel like they missing it at is we watched coming up a lot of the documentaries, TLC, New Edition, all of them, where they was in deals that they wasn't even getting paid for. So you was being an artist the whole time. Hence, I guess that's where a lot of I'm going independent, and you're missing you're missing the promotion, you're missing the brand, and you want to do everything all on your own. You want to do your own beats, so then you missing actually paying for the beat or license. Like it's so much even down to you building those connections on what platforms you should be on. It's when the artists are like, I want to be on everywhere because once I'm everywhere, then you see me, and it's like that's not really to me how the algorithm works. I'd rather get quality than quantity. I don't have to, you know, let me go here, let me go there, let me go see. And then sometimes when artists do reach out to me, we don't fit each other.
Yeah.
You didn't even get public speaking. You don't have no media training. You can't talk. All you know how to talk about is your music. And then when you try to get the personality out of them, they don't got no personality. What are we doing? I just spent $300 on studio time and I can't do nothing with this.
You can't get
footage.
No good content.
It don't work. So for me, that's how when I look at the work that I'm seeing you do, because you have a resume. You don't just, it's not just Stuy Nights, and it's not just you got the ADD podcast. You had, I'm gonna let you list it, because if I list it, I'm gonna say something wrong. Go ahead. You have so many that you do, but I feel like a lot of the artists are paying attention even more now, where they want to get the clout off of you because of the people that you talk to. So that's what I'm saying, where you hit us with a reroute. They didn't know. We knew. But it's different. It's kind of like when I was down, they didn't want me. I'm up, and all these bitches all on me.
It's kind of that. So that reroute was it was forced. You understand what I'm saying? I'm back with All Hip Hop, so shout out to them. I ain't gonna shit on them. You understand? I'm saying again. But what you call it? But we had a falling out, which I had to take accountability. A lot of it was me getting like a big head and like too big for my bitches and stuff like that. But I felt like I worked really hard to get there, not knowing it's still not the mountaintop, which a lot of artists can take from that. Just because you hit a new level does not mean you're at where you want to be at. Right. It doesn't mean it can't be taken away. Always be humble. Right. So but I'm in it for the love. I like what I do. You understand what I'm saying? So the pivot isn't too difficult, because I'm going to forever keep doing what I'm doing, whether I'm doing it thing for money or lesser artists and things like that. Like the things that get me out of like my funk or depression and shit like that is doing media. You understand what I'm saying? I remember like during the fucking pandemic, like when I started doing an event. I did that because I didn't know what was next. I legit didn't know what was next. So I wanted to ask other entrepreneurs what, how do they feel like, how do they break through like certain problems and things like that. But you told me the list. It's like, for right now, it's the ADD podcast, Stuy Nights, and All Hip-Hop and Slapshot shit. That's like for lesser known artists that are doing exactly what you're saying. They can't come holler at me before they get to an All Hip-Hop platform and stuff like that.
Got you. Do some of them try to skip that part?
Everybody tries to skip that part.
Do you charge them?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You have to.
And we've had that debate, because I don't, but you do, and they don't want to pay.
So I don't have to be bothered with you. It's no time wasted. I could spend my time figuring out how to make this book or continue doing what I was doing. I charge because this is how much you're taking out of my day. You understand what I'm saying? At this point, this is what my time is worth. So. Right. That's what it is at this point. So unless it's like, I feel like it's mutually beneficial. I had Davies on my own personal platform, but I'm gonna tell Davies, I don't trust you, nigga. I need my money for you. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah. So
Davies as a Gemini, be like, you
wild. Shout out to Davies.
Yeah,
shout out to Davies.
You got something you want to ask?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Like, how do you decipher like who you should interview and who you shouldn't?
Everybody I like. As far as like me picking somebody or somebody,
as
like,
far as you picking somebody, how do you scout?
I like stories. I like good stories. I like people. I like good artists, and I don't mean like good artists as far as just music.
All right.
I like people that into their artistry or deep into what they have going on, like a passion for it. It makes for an easy conversation. Once I ask you about it, you'll just open up and you'll go off about it. That, or just like an interesting story, like what's going on. Something that, like she said, I'm paying for studio time and I can't get anything. I don't want to be stuck looking at, you understand what I'm saying? Or having to carry the conversation and stuff like that.
Then you just talking to yourself.
Yeah, for a fact. I'm like, when people are passionate about the, I'll give you like, I think like my first real example of that was talking to Chef G. Like Chef G was like really, really fucking quiet until we actually started talking about, well, who really started like this Brooklyn drill movement. And as soon as I said that, he opened up. You understand what I'm saying? Because he wanted it to be known. Like, you understand what I'm saying? This is my declaration. And so, you know, like once you're talking to somebody with a passion about something, hopefully, you know, 9 times out of 10, it's easy to get them to talk about it. You press the right button.
Free Chef G, man.
Yeah, free Chef G.
Free Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, fact.
So,
shout out the Winner Circle.
As far as like, I want to say between end of last year and this year, what is some of the artists that you worked with?
It's been I'm not gonna lie, it's actually been a really good freaking year because I told you when I had to pivot, I had to move, you know. Like the top of the year has been crazy. All Hip Hop just released my interview with King Harris today. So shout out to him. One before that was Jen Carter, Neek Bucks, Bass Swag, T.I. It's Max B, French, Fab, the whole Let's Rap About It. BMO. It's been a year, bro.
East New York.
Yeah, for a fact. It's been a year. Shit. It's more, but you want me to I'm not going I don't
So Stuy Nights, walk us through exactly what that is, what that does for the artist, because I didn't know about the whole, what is this, Young, Rich, and Famous?
Yeah.
I know people who are in there, you know, my dog Canary, who we always have up here.
Shout out to Canary.
And
King Nary.
I was always at those events, so I don't understand how we didn't really cross paths. Maybe I was on the...
I was honestly, because I was a bit older, I was out of place. You understand what I'm saying? Like
we're not that far in age.
We not. But back then, you know, 3-4 years, it seemed like a big deal. You know,
it was like a different age group.
Me being 20 trying to talk to 17-year-old girls, I look crazy. You understand what I'm saying? You know, it's like now, you know, like at my age, you know, a 3-year difference ain't no, you know, ain't that far. But back then, I wasn't no creep or nothing like that. I wasn't trying to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? So I distanced myself from there. But the parties and shit like that, me and shout out to my man Drew. That's a story in itself. But Prince and Vaughn, they really started it. They started it, and they was great at recruiting, and they was great at the street level, like getting everybody to understand that they was trendsetters and they was cool. Me and Drew, we kind of just had a business mind. We had a business sense, so we put that together and stuff like that. So if you may have missed me, it's because, like I said, I kind of like separated like just from that. You understand what I'm saying? But when we're younger, that separation kind of made it look like, oh, we're trying to be the boss of everything and everybody, which we had no intentions of being. We was trying to teach everybody, but these niggas are kind of like
sometimes people don't want to do that. They just want to have fun.
Exactly, and I think everybody understands it now. I think like that's why
damn, I could have been a millionaire.
That's why we connect now.
When we was younger, the scene was so crazy. You know, like. And we was kids, like really kids, doing grown-up stuff, but didn't really understand it. Like to the point we was having so much fun.
We was having so much fun, and like a lot of that culture that's there is for sale now. It's really expensive. You understand what I'm saying? Because I think like our generation might have been like the last like one outside before gentrification. You understand what I'm saying? So that culture is really, I think it's really expensive. You understand what I'm saying? The shit that we trendsetted and stuff like that. What you call it? I was watching The Bear. That is an Oscar Emmy nominated show. I'm hearing them say Heard.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
The Beard, that's on FX. Great show. But I'm hearing them say Heard. I'm like, yo, Young Rich made Heard. You understand what I'm saying? And now it's on. So that culture was pretty dope. That was a pretty dope time in New York. I hated the fucking music that came out of it. But I mean, from the B.B. Simons to the Pelés, you know, all that shit is coming back out and stuff like that. I got my ACGs on. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah. Right. So but we started that, and it was kind of, when we did that, the party thing couldn't have been every day, couldn't have been every week or whatever. So we're trying to figure out like where else, like what other niche is there. And like I said, everybody at that time was rapping. This is before streaming. So the way you got on, or you put your team on, was you started rapping. So that's when we decided to start a blog, because we ain't really want to rap like that. So we started a blog. That's when we had Young Rich Nation. That was our blog. Then I was a fan of 106 and Park. I'm like, well, I'm getting all these videos now to post on the blog. Where the fuck do I post? How do I get it on TV? BCAT. And after BCAT, I decided to do all 5 boroughs of local public access. So there's a lot of people got their videos on TV for their first time. They get to show their mother. You understand what I'm saying? Like, mommy, I'm on TV. This is kind of working here.
Right.
You understand? So it just started like that. And then when I kept doing the interviews, kept moving and stuff like that, it just kept growing, kept getting bigger and bigger. And to the point where I did hit all hip hop and stuff like that. And so right now, that's kind of like, this year has kind of been like the summit of kind of like my career. I mean, besides like Rolling Louds and shit like that, but this has been like a really big year. I don't know how it's set up like that, but you know what I'm saying? It has been like that. I didn't plan it to be as big of a year as it was.
It's the pivot. Once you pivot and something happens, it's like either I'm going to just stop right here at a crossroads or I'm going to
keep going.
I'm gonna go down there and go there. That's how it's like.
That's what it. Yeah, that's what it is. I didn't stop and I ain't mope. I ain't quit. Yeah. I just kept it pushing. And as far as like Stuy Nights, Tiff just really wanted to recapture like the old vibe of the Stuy. It's hard to It's hard to recreate that with gentrification and stuff like that.
A lot of the block parties and a lot of the givebacks and the cookouts.
They throwing. Remember when you could plan? You could plan like I'm going to this block party, this block. Now they throw all the block parties at one time so it could keep everybody separated. Yeah. So we don't have those like. Shout out to my man Nairi. On Green used to be the best block party in the Stuy every year. I don't know where he
get that from, because I'd have said Putnam.
It's Green and thing. What's that? Green and like Stuyvesant? That was I'm trying to tell you. Shout out all the males.
My uncles be on Green between Notion and Marcy, DJs, DJ Red, all of them. So that's why I don't know what you talking about.
I really don't know.
I'll show you the pictures. I'll show you the pictures. We had them, but so those was like, but we trying to recreate those, but like in an adult way. Tiff, she does a lot of administrative stuff, so she does work with artists and things of that nature. I don't necessarily have the patience to work with artists on a day-to-day. I don't.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Because I'm managing a public career myself, so having to manage another public career with somebody that doesn't listen, you understand what I'm saying?
Do you feel like the artist that you're dealing with now, the actual, I'm going to say it, the actual artist compared to the other artists that maybe... Because Tiff deals with a plethora of artists. It could be new or those that are already established. Do you feel it's a difference in them? Like, is it you don't want to work with none of the artists on a day-to-day basis, or is it just it's these new up and coming ones?
Even up and none. Even if you have like a rocket ship, I'd fuck your shit up because I'm concentrating on mine. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just me being honest. You know what I'm saying? But as far as a difference, I think you'll see more of the people that are actually passionate. That's how they got there. Yeah. But I'd still see, like, even though like somebody might have like a hit or something like that, like a fly by night viral moment. They have the same work ethic as the people that ask to come on and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It'll be the same thing. It's no media training for established people anymore. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So that so I run into the same things with them as I would. You know? Okay. Yeah.
I also feel like with you're gonna be a little bit more safe because that's the field that you in. When we have Saad up here, because he's already agreed to come up here, I already know you're going to get that.
The fire starter.
We're going to get that like the other side. Like the people like me who are like, I don't want to highlight them. I want to highlight the people who highlight the people. Who's going to highlight those people? I'd rather have those conversations and like, because those are the things that inspire me. People, have always told me, interview people. I know how to interview people. Whether I'm hiring you for a job or I know the questions to ask, I know how the conversation gonna go. It's boring to me. I'd rather let's stimulate my mind. Let's talk about you used to do crack. Let's talk about that. And then they don't want to talk about it. So it's like I seen the picture. And
man, you're gonna bring up the person doing crack.
It's sometimes you just gotta, and people don't want to they don't want to look, they don't want to be seen in a bad light. And I'm like, I get it, I understand. I'd rather have the other moments with people who also inspire me with the things that they're doing. Because I would love to do what you're doing. It's just not what I want to do. It's because I see you doing it. Good. Like, I would more so give more coaching. I feel like I'm that stage where it's like, hey, let's practice it here. You get what I'm saying? So I have no problem talking to artists. Like, I'm going to always sit down, and Trill Ty can always come and sit down and talk to me.
Yeah.
Because he's, and I'm going to say
Shout
this,
out
he's
to
one of
Trill
those,
Ty.
well, that is an artist
My
to
guy.
me. As far as rollout, as far as visuals, and as far as music.
Put me on.
His music matches the visuals. Trill Ty. Like, if you
Trill
don't,
Ty, all right.
he,
Put
I've
me on
had
to
him up
somebody
here, and
new.
because we have that rapport already from knowing each other back in the day. Same like with, you know, the people in Young, Rich, and Famous. Remember, I was on the other side. I was with Queens, with Ace General, and I was with Fat Boy Slim and Jasmine Taylor, and all of us when we were throwing parties. We was on that side, and then the B-Cat version, as far as going to Edward R. Murrow and a lot of the Flex girls for Flex in Brooklyn, or the people who I was there. Shout out to Storyboard P, if you do know him. We had our first dance group in Edward R. Murrow, and I was one of the people, and he dances and he's everywhere. I'm along the lines with that. So I felt we already knew, even down to like the solo charms when I was doing parties. So we took this step into this part of media to be like, you know, we're passionate about it. This has to grow. The point that I want to say is I feel like sometimes we're stuck in the times before, especially when it comes to music. And I'm gonna be honest with you now, the way I listen to music now, we still listen in the 80s and 90s music. We call that brunch music. If any artist want to be fire right now, what you need to be doing is brunch music. We resample those stuff. I'm waiting. The resamples are doing baby better. Look at the baby.
Now, shout out to shout out to Dave East and BMO. I keep running back that too outlandish. You could have left Uncasa off, but
see that's you.
yeah, you could have. But that shit is fire to me. But it's the outstanding. But you know, the moment you throw on outstanding, you understand what I'm saying? And BMO caught that shit like a motherfucker with that beat. You understand?
That's it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think what I want to hear honestly is just somebody like trying something new. Try something new. I think Cash tried something new when he was doing the
but then everybody
the
goes
drill.
and does it.
Everybody did it and it fucked his shit
and
up.
I'm good.
I think it fucked his shit up. Like everybody jumped on it so quickly. But it was like that was showing that how we are starving for something new.
And I had this conversation last night, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like, again, this is my opinion. The last time that we got something new that switched the timeline from artistry to branding, and it happened quick and music changed, was Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke, yeah.
And it was like,
Peace,
once
Pop
we
Smoke.
got
Just was
that,
talking to,
that whole timeline of everything, and I'm like, oh, we going somewhere. And everybody started coming out. And that was the thing. When you came out, they didn't even, there's a difference between merging and just switching lanes. And they was just straight merging when it was like, nah, collaborate and still come back to your stuff. It was like, nah, I got to sound like that person because that person is up. Come on.
So what I can say is what I think Pop did spark, and I think there's no Cash without Pop is he put a hook to a drill song.
Correct.
Like a generalized hook. Welcome to the party. You understand what I'm saying? And I talked to John Carter, like, because 41 they added like the Jersey Club, but like I said, everybody bit that shit up. You understand what I'm saying? Like Ice Spice did that shit immediately.
Yeah, it's a lot of Kyle Rich and a lot of you staffs.
Yeah, so when I talked about that, I was like, I see it's like it's evolution to be put into this. If people don't, as soon as something hit, everybody runs to it. You understand what I'm saying? I think like if you let people work their lane, let it bubble, let it slowly work, everybody would have a thing. I think with Cash, with the sexy drill, we're on these drill beats, but we talking about fucking. You understand? Instead of like who killed who on Macon the other night. You understand what I'm saying? We talking about that.
I can't walk down Macon.
We talking about that instead of and 4-1 they bought the jersey we shaking. So they talking drill shit, but it's but we moving our hips to it a little bit.
And
now.
it was catchy. It fit what needed to fit the marketing part of going into TikTok. So they were able to understand a different lane of brand. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, a different style of like what people want to listen to. What people would like to.
I'm sorry.
Nah, I just
Jump in with the last couple of minutes.
Free K Flock. Like I just thought about him, like how when he came out and he started scorching. It, like you started hearing a bunch of kids just come out trying to rap with his sound, like. So,
but that was thing. But the new thing that he bought was we didn't know that there was a Bronx thing. Unless you knew, you didn't know like there was a Bronx thing going. There was drill up thing uptown.
Yeah, I got up on him
and he
early.
had energy. Yeah, but he had energy. He's a star. He was a star. You understand what I'm saying? So like free him. But he was a star himself, and it's certain star qualities that certain people have. But like I said, I think Pop really showed where it could go. You understand what I'm saying?
Because I felt like that was the last timeline glitch that we had, and I'm sitting
you
here
didn't feel like for sure was a timeline glitch because then you had
wait for sure.
Yeah, Fisher.
Yeah, shout out the bass way.
It was a build onto that. That's how I felt. Like if you still didn't have this, we wouldn't have gotten the other lanes for that.
But then if you got to go back, then you got to go to because Pop Smoke is a building of drill.
Correct.
Period.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That he's a building of what 22Gs may have started.
But he was able to be more marketable to hit this scene. Like you can do it. We still miss it in. We still missing the marketing part. That's the part that I'm saying. I'm not saying it's
but
just.
I also
and
remember
there wasn't much marketing around them.
They wasn't trying to market. It started off as a scoreboard. It started off organic.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say you said Pop Smoke. I bounced it to the Bronx and said K Flock. But I'm gonna say Winter Circle. Chef Z
Great
and
John.
Sleepy Hollow, getting Great John.
The reason I say shout out to Great John, shout out to Blanco. They the ones, they heard it and they saw the potential because Chef G was a regular drill rapper like everybody else. Great John really was like, "We'll try this." You understand what I'm saying? Let's try this.
When he like, I feel like now that he like mastered his craft some more, it's like he put like a spin on it. Like they got their own sound for drill.
They don't even. I wouldn't even call it drill at this point.
It's not even drill no more.
They every now and then they might delve back into it, but most of the singles that they put out, it don't sound like it. It doesn't sound like drill.
They got their own lane now. Yeah,
absolutely.
I think again the biggest takeaway from this is we could sit here and we could reminisce as far as the music. Nobody don't got no hooks. There's no hooks. We don't got no bridges. Same thing with R&B. Ain't nobody yearning. Ain't nobody doing none of that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why when I say this is the time now, a lot of us that's partying, we still in that party era where we want to take it back to when we was partying. You got to go back to those songs. It's not that hard. You got 41 who did Suavemente. Yeah. Come on now. If you want to get everybody's dancing, and the reason why we say everybody's dancing is because we're looking at the visuals, because we're looking at TikTok. And we also got to look. There's no more, I forgot what it's called, Beach Street that we used to have downtown Brooklyn on Hoyt Skimmerhorn across from Albee Square Mall. You got to realize that we switch times. So I get it. Artists, they're not getting paid for CDs. They not going up to signings. You get what I'm saying? So they trying to get the money. We went into the streaming era. But then even with the streaming, remember with CDs, you could put the CD in and it was a DVD as well, and you got the visuals. Okay. Artists don't got
somebody handed me
visuals.
One of those. Somebody handed me one of those the other day. Like
but we ain't got no DVD player. They wasn't.
No, yeah, I saw that. But I just
we was at Canal. We was on Canal Street.
This wasn't
they
too
thought
far
they
from
was
it.
Playboy.
This,
rest
no,
in
this
peace
was
to
not.
Playboy.
It was rest in peace. Rest in Hollywood Play.
Yeah, Hollywood Play. Rest in peace.
I'm a star legend, man. But yo, I was hosting a concert. You understand what I'm saying? And he was promoting himself, and I think now people are starting to understand like having like something people could feel, people could look at and stuff like that.
You need realistic.
Yeah. I think you need some. That's how you can sell it. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to Saw went to Bandcamp. You understand? La Russell. He's making sure people buy the album instead of just streaming it.
Correct.
And stuff like that. But that's the thing. We're telling these cats like to make their money. So they feel like once they start making their money, they don't feel like they need us. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's the part.
I
Whether it's media to their fans. And then we get into these debacles where one, you can't even be consistent because you got to rebrand because you just lost your whole fan base.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to follow the next person.
That's a fact. I mean, the 3 biggest artists were all entangled in the biggest beef 2 years ago, and none of them have hit an actual platform and talked about this beef. And so we're learning from there. Everybody just goes to social media, control their own narrative, and I don't think people understand that the media is like short medium. We are the medium to the people. We're supposed to phrase and we're supposed to put it together and show people this is how it's supposed to be presented to them. You understand what I'm saying? Like to this day, we still haven't had there's no intimate conversation with Drake about how he felt about what happened. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, I really don't care because I'm a Kendrick.
But we still don't have. We didn't have the interview. We didn't have the interview as
both sides.
I want to hear what when Cole decided. But we never. When Kendrick said "fuck it," I'm jumping out the window here. You understand what I'm saying?
As a Gemini, we never just jump out the window.
This was planned. But when he knew, when did he know it was time? When did he know it was time?
You smart enough to know this gonna run off, and we smart. We gonna keep going. There's a lot of successful Geminis out there that you see. You got Ken the Man out there. She killing it. You giving morning affirmations to us. You're always Kanye. We always gonna bring up Kanye. You got the Biggies, you got the Tupacs, you got the Lauryn Hills, you got Ice Cube, you got all the people who I know I'm about to be in line with. You got Funny Marco, who's out there doing his thing. You got Speedy, who's my favorite streamer. And those Geminis. You just know, and most of the time is you being organic.
But I want to be. But that's the thing. That's what the media is for. We're supposed to get into the minds of said Gemini. We're supposed to frame it. It's like like movies are going to last forever. Certain articles last forever because they're the picture of the artist, and now everybody does a podcast and interviews like that. I still like magazine articles because they write the settings out. They go find you understand what I'm saying?
I miss Word Up magazine.
I miss the source, man. I miss the source. I miss XXL.
My sister have a bunch of posters.
That's
Hot Boy
it. And
posters.
I'll be at that B2K concert
posters.
with meet and greets closer to people. But I just wanted to make sure that we did sit down and have a conversation because here at Brooklyn's Balance, you always got to balance it out. You're going to get the soft side to it. And, we're going to get somebody that's like, all these artists ain't shit. I'm telling you, I don't care what they say. Yeah. Bubblegum rap. If you want to call it bubblegum rap, that's how you get all the audiences. You get in the grandmas, you get in the aunties, and that's a quick sell for your music. Go do it. You see it's working for everybody else.
Stop taking that personal.
Yes.
Stop taking that you ain't shit personal.
Yeah.
Is I think that's the issue that Saad has, and I think Saad likes that though. but like he tell an artist that but there's like but there's a message behind it. Ryo is the same. Ryo's the same way. They tell you like you ain't no shit.
They don't want to hear it.
Yeah, they don't want to hear excuses.
And that's where you miss the character development at. If you had the teams behind you instead of just trying to do it yourself, you would know how to take criticism and feedback and put it into what you need to put it in. I took it in. I did a whole video and showed y'all. And still showed up to the show and y'all followed. Y'all kept the word. But thank you for tuning in to this episode of Slow Peas, right? On first quarter. Blaze, how you felt?
Great conversation with you, my brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All you artists, work harder.
That's work harder. And we're out.
Do something different, man.